Wild Time Cooking with Allison Davis is brought to you by Corman Kitchen and Bath.
Hey there, welcome back to Midday Kentucky. Chef Allison Davis here in the Wild Time Kitchen. And I'm talking all the flavors of fall. I've got some cranberries, I've got some Swiss chard, and I've got acorn squash. I've got some fresh herbs. We are going to make something good here. What I'm talking about is going to be a quinoa stuffed acorn squash, which would make a great meatless Monday meal. It's super filling. You get a ton of protein from quinoa as well as amino acids. It's extremely healthy and very filling. So we're going to get right into it. And what I first did was went ahead and cut the acorn squash right in half, and then you just kind of remove those guts and seeds, and then toss a little olive oil, salt and pepper, and then cook it on the hollow side. Let it cook for about 25 to 30 minutes, just until it's really nice and soft and you are ready to go with your acorn squash. Now we're just going to talk about the filling. So I've got a little olive oil, some onions going in the pan. Now I went ahead and cooked my quinoa. So you could do this two ways. You could do this all in one dish like a saucepan and actually saute your onions, add your quinoa, cook your quinoa. But in this case, I've already got it cooked. And you could have this in your fridge for up to about a week. So if you wanted to incorporate it into salads, into other dishes, you can just have your quinoa ready to go and add it in, which is what we're going to do today. So we're just letting our onions kind of saute up a little bit. I'm going to add some garlic to that. And then we're going to go ahead and wilt and add in a little bit of our Swiss chard. And so I just take it, just kind of cut some, maybe 1 inch, 1.5 inch strips. And once you get down to the stems, just kind of shave a little bit of that off. And you know what? A lot of people actually keep the stems. I've seen where you can actually pickle and keep these stems for that, but that's another show altogether. All right, so we just have taken our chard, and we're just going to add that in with our onions and just start to wilt that down. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some of our quinoa to this and start just letting that kind of soak up some of those flavors as well. Okay? So it really just depends as far as ratio goes on how many people you're cooking for. You're really just making a filling that's enough for your halves, your acorn squash. So each serving is going to be served in the bowl in the acorn squash. So this is really just the filling that we're working on here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and season this with a little bit of salt and pepper. If you guys could smell this, you would really just be salivating right now because the garlic and the onions and everything is just really blowing me away. All right, so we've got some fresh thyme. I'm just going to strip the thyme right now off of its stems. If you don't have fresh thyme, you can always use dried. And we're going to add this beautiful fresh herb in here to our mixture. And then we're going to go in with some dried cranberries. And lastly, the last ingredient is really optional. If you are wanting to go kind of dairy-free, you can omit it. But I like to add a little bit of like feta or like blue cheese or something because I feel like that just adds a creaminess to it and really just like ties it all together. All right, so we've added our cheese. We've let this cool just a little bit. And as you can see, that cheese is just going to melt in there beautifully. I went with a gorgonzola. I'm a big fan of blue cheese, especially when it's this time of year and when we're talking like squash and all that goodness. So I am going to take a little measuring cup or a scoop, and we're just going to take this and just add our filling right in there. You could honestly just serve it right like that, or if you want, you could sprinkle a little bit more cheese, say maybe like Parmesan cheese, and just blister it right under the broiler just to finish it off. All right, Meatless Monday coming up. You guys know where to find this recipe. Go to middaykentucky.com/recipes tab. I'm Chef Allison Davis. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be right back after this short break.